Night of the Living Geeks.
Hello and welcome to this week's LHG cast. I'm your host, Nick. With me today is Taylor Hoyt.
We are VR.
What?
And
Is that new logo for us?
No,
Or
you
catchphrase?
never saw that TV show VR Troopers?
Oh yeah.
We are VR Troopers.
VR.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great. We are
Who
VR.
rudely interrupted me, Jake.
Oh, hey, this is
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah, this is Jake.
He is the VR Trooper.
He
I'm
is
the VR trooper. Awesome.
It's actually amazing that he actually unplugged just to do this podcast.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, scary.
Yep.
Are you feeling all right?
No.
Kind of hurting right now?
Well, just kind
Nauseated
of
a little bit?
I don't know. The graphics here are kind of.
They're a little bit better. They're higher resolution. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
8,
nice.
8K
but it's just,
resolution.
It's nice,
or
but it's
something?
like I feel like it's doesn't quite have the one-to-one movement that the PSVR has. You know, everything's got like a little delay.
Yeah.
You should go to
Side
the-
quests are
you
kind of
should-
boring, right?
Side quests are super boring.
Yeah.
Jake, you need
Like
to go.
I'm slogging through one right now.
I think you should go to the doctor for that because that's kind of a serious problem. You had that.
It's not one-to-one
Yeah,
tracking.
if it's not one-to-one tracking, I think something's wrong. Yeah, so if you haven't known already, PSVR came out this week, and Jake was super excited.
I was.
So we're gonna have a huge
He is.
discussion about that.
Mhm.
And another thing that came out was the Dragonball Xenoverse 2 beta.
So we'll talk about that next week.
We're talking about that right now. Very short because none of you guys really played it. I was the only one who played it.
But I will be playing it very soon. So next week I'll actually have a lot more to say, and I am excited for the release because the first one was super cool.
Yep. So the second one improves everything.
Nice.
So the main hub, super smooth, super silky. Love it. It feels like doesn't feel robotic like the other one was.
Well, can you get places faster? Because I remember that was that was the biggest one. It was so frustrating because it's like there were 4 sections, right, and you would just have to jog.
Yeah.
the
So
entire
you
way.
have there's still jogging. You can if you want, but there's also quick travel areas. You go talk to a
Nice.
guy and they quick travel. You have vehicles if you just fly around.
Wait, how much bigger is this hub?
I think it's the same size except it's all connected. There's no like loading zones
Okay,
anymore.
good. Yeah, I was gonna say like vehicles to get from one loading zone to the other.
But there's also stuff in the sky that you have to get to. So
Can you fly?
You can't fly until you get a license, and I have no idea how to do that. 'Cause
A license to fly?
it just introduced that in the beta. They're like, you could fly, but you need a license to get
Goku
that.
he don't need no license. He just does what he wants.
Yeah, right.
He just teleports.
Wow. Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah,
Well, I think that's probably, you're talking about the loading zones. I bet you that's probably a holdover from it having to be on 360 and PS3, right? Was Xenoverse on?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So
Every-
this is
oh man, everything was just like the animations are so much better. Like everything feels
Nice.
like all smooth and everything like that.
Do they have any story in the beta?
Yeah, actually, you could do like 3 story missions.
How are those?
Same thing.
Pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
But
Everything's a lot faster, so it's like it doesn't take forever to load.
Nice.
And it's I love the animations for the story missions are really good.
Mhm.
It looks like a single player game, but you could play multiplayer.
well, I was gonna ask the so in the first one you were pretty much going through time, stopping in at different points during the original Dragon Ball Z saga, and just kind of you see like these big critical moments in the show's history, and then you go in and you pretty much like you kind of work in the background or in the foreground to kind of make sure everything continues going the same way. So you kind of see almost alternate versions. You see how things could have gone wrong, and then you work to fix it. But aside from that, like it had its own villain who was making these changes, but then it didn't do too much of its own stuff. It was just these little vignettes, mostly based around stuff from the show.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that this one was going to be a whole new story, this entirely brand new story arc and all that. Is that
it's the same thing, but I think it's going to have more story to it.
like more of its own kind of content?
Because
Okay.
what they've announced it's the same villains, Mira and Toa.
That's cool. They were good villains.
They're
Mira, the purple Egyptian.
The blue. Oh no, the purple
That's
Egyptian.
Beerus.
Yeah, that's Beerus. He was from the movie.
I still need to watch
he's
that.
from Super.
He's just a character in this. He's just kind of another character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in
'Cause-
Super. He's
Doesn't-
like a main character in Super
No.
now.
I mean, not in the show. In the game, he's just another character.
I'm pretty sure he will be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is like Golden Frieza's as characters. I'm pretty sure Beerus is there, and Whis. I think Whis was actually in the first one too.
Yeah. No, both of them were.
Yeah.
So they're bringing characters from Dragon Ball Super, even though that's not even out in the West yet.
yeah, because
It's out in Japan. Obviously,
the pre-order bonus is Black Goku or Goku Black.
What is Goku Black?
Goku Black is an evil Goku, and that's all.
And that's in Super.
That's in Super. Yeah. That's like the villain right now.
Huh?
Whoa.
So I don't know anything about it. I'm getting to it. I've been watching a lot of Dragon Ball Super. Like in the last 3 days, I've watched like 40 episodes.
Wow.
Wow, there's that
Holy
many out.
crap.
I didn't even know there were that many out.
Not in the West.
There's 60.
No, I
not
know.
even out in the West.
But you go to the websites that have them translated. But
Yeah. It's 63 episodes.
Wow.
2 episodes right now.
that's insane.
Well, it's been out for like almost a year now.
Year or two, year and a half, I think.
Yeah, but still, I
62
guess maybe
is
I
not-
lost track of how long it's been since I watched it. I remember watching the first handful, and they were like on vacation. Like Vegeta went to like some resort, and he's just like dancing and stuff.
That's the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And then it starts, and then like it goes to the Battle of the Gods.
That's kind of like when everything's nice and
Yeah.
peaceful before the villain, before the story arc.
Because then the story arc is the Battle of the Gods story arc, which is retold. It's not exactly the same.
Oh.
And then it goes to
So Battle of the Gods isn't canon.
no, I think Super is canon, which is pretty much Battle of the Gods, just like
What
more
about-
story driven.
What about
Let
what
me,
was the one after it?
let me continue.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
And then right after that, Resurrection F came out.
right.
So and then that's the story arc in that very same thing, same story but like told differently.
So neither of those movies are canon?
No,
But when they came out, that was their whole thing, is that these are canon.
yeah, but they're retold in Super.
So they're not
so
canon.
they are, but they aren't.
They are,
kind
but
of.
they aren't.
But
I mean, it's like a
retold and things are different.
like some things are different. Yeah,
So they're not canon.
Yeah.
They're retellings.
it's like okay, the basic story is the same.
Right.
It's just there's more like depth to it because it's not a movie.
Right.
Get it?
I get it.
Okay.
So it's mostly the same.
Mostly the same, but,
But
there's
it's
more
not
to
canon.
It. Okay.
We're moving on.
So like that was at the end of like I think episode 25 is that's when this movie's in, and then it goes to another arc, which is really interesting. I won't give it away. It's pretty
Has
cool.
the animation? I know a lot of people are pissed about the animation.
I have not noticed any of the animation.
The first episodes were really rough. I think it's gotten better from people that I follow on Twitter that are into the show.
Yeah, I also think people are complaining because they like to complain because that's what people do.
Well, but I mean,
But
I've seen...
I've seen it. I'm like, yeah, this looks odd, but it's not like detracting from the show at all.
Okay, so the show is still quality?
Yeah.
All right, because, yeah, I mean, I've seen some screenshots. I've seen little clips.
Like, the
and
screenshots, you like, oh, it looks awful, but
it's really bad.
But then when you watch it, you're like, oh, you don't even notice.
All right, well, that's good. That's good. So Super is now good because
Super is like I watched it and I'm like I was watching YouTube clips of it and I was like, okay, this looks awesome. I got to watch this now. And I watched it and I've as you've 40 episodes in like a couple days.
Nice.
Like that anime, it's really good. I really enjoy it.
Well, it's cool, yeah, because I really when it first came out, it was like Super's awesome, and I was really excited. And then I heard it was like just awful, and then I was all disappointed. So it's good to hear.
It's good.
A good
I
review
enjoy
again.
it.
Nice.
I love the characters.
And
I mean, one thing that you might not like is that it's Japanese only right now.
Well,
so
yeah,
if you
I'm
don't
still
like the
gonna
Japanese
wait. I'm still
voices-
gonna wait until. I mean, I'm it was like I think now I've stopped like 2 years ago or something.
You're
or
doing your
maybe-
whole Dragon Ball quest.
Yeah, I was watching through the entirety of it, and I finished all of Dragon Ball, and then I got up through like I just finished or I'm in the middle of the Frieza saga or something like that, and then I stopped. But that was like a year and a half ago or something. So I might pick it up again because it's still decent in my memory. So I might pick it up again like at the beginning of the Frieza saga and continue through, and hopefully by then Super will be in English.
Hopefully.
So. But anyway,
what I do
Xenoverse 2
Yeah, Xenoverse 2
is really good.
my little, yeah, really good.
You said your character transferred.
Okay, let me get to that. So you get to a point at like in the tutorial where you go to your new character is like exploring the city, and then you get to the monument, and the Supreme Kai of Time was like, "This is our greatest hero."
Oh, and it's your character?
And you could select which character it could be. So if you have
Oh.
multiple, if
Of
you have
the
yeah,
saves?
of the saves, you could, and
That's awesome.
and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick mine. So you pick yours, and you get all his stuff, all his moves, except certain ones that are not in the game anymore. So all
like
of his
the basic attack stun.
that's still in there, but it's a super soul. But it's like how it's super Super Souls, those add-ons you got to your character.
Oh yeah,
That changes
I
your
thought there
Ki
were
Blast.
Z-Souls.
Z-Souls, yeah, that's what they're
Oh,
called.
okay.
And that's what changes your Ki Blast. But it can't be both. There's no homing plus paralyze. It's homing or paralyze.
Fine, whatever.
That was so cheap. Yeah, so that happens, and you're like, oh, that's cool. I guess he like died or something, right? or something.
Sure.
And but you get all his moves, and so you could generally like copy your character if you want. I kind of did, but then I'm like, then I noticed that character that you picked is in the story. He's actually like with Trunks.
Holy crap!
So your character's there.
Oh, that's so awesome!
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool! Well, so okay, so you should not create. You should create a new character for
Yes.
Xenoverse 2.
You should create a new character.
Interesting. Okay, so I don't get to play as Sokomoro anymore.
Yeah, but you could copy Sokomoro.
No, I don't want to because he's
There you-
already in the game.
there you go.
I can be like bros with Sokomoro.
There you go.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
interesting.
So he's popped up in the story like a couple times now.
That's really awesome. Will you be able to fight alongside him?
I don't know.
That'll be the coolest.
I've seen
If
him
you
like
can-
when in a battle. I would like beat this guy, and then I'll see him fly, and then like go. Acknowledge me,
nod.
acknowledge me, and then leave.
Nice.
How cool!
I'm
Because
like,
I
oh, that's
love
cool.
that character, so I'll just get to be like, yeah, it's you, hey, awesome. Oh, how neat! All
But
right.
make sure you transfer. Go on Xenoverse 1, make your character pick moves that you want to transfer over that you want, so it transfers.
yeah.
Because I have one called the Galactic Donuts. I'm like, I didn't want that. I was just using that to train under Go Tanks.
Do you happen to have the disc?
Yeah.
For Xenoverse 1? Can I borrow that?
Sure.
Because I think I sold mine a while ago.
I sold
so
mine a while ago, but I rebought it.
That'd be awesome if I could
Yeah,
grab it.
course.
Thanks.
But like the hub, there's a lot of stuff in this game. So there's like these things called time rifts, which are like different dailies you could do or something like that. I don't know if they're dailies, but like each one, there's like the Capsule Corporation where you could like do. I don't know what you could do on this one, but then there's the Namek one where you could do missions, and it helps them defend Namek if you don't do missions. Like you start losing stuff.
Yeah.
And you always get like special items for this. And then you have like Hercule where you could become the Great Saiyaman.
Hercule.
And you can
Nice.
just be his bodyguard, and you
Nice.
get items for that.
That's cool.
And then you have the Boo one where it's like you have to give him food. I don't know how you get food and say. And then you give him he wants a family, so the more food you give him, he like creates more family or something. I have no idea how that works. But the more family he has, the different family members give you do like item quests for you.
Sure.
So and then there's a whole another thing called like the Academy where you could like train. And you do like certain quests and certain like
So there's
challenges.
just a ton.
And stuff.
There's a
There's a
to
ton
this
of
game.
stuff.
That's
to do.
awesome. So progress is going to transfer from the beta to the main game?
I don't know what do you mean like progress?
Like anything you do in the beta, that's going to transfer to the full game?
I have no idea,
Oh.
but it made it seem like it did.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Hopefully not, because I want to transfer my character over again.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can always
sweet.
delete it and redo it.
You can. That's what it says you can do.
Nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, it looks a lot better. Feels a lot better. Fighting's a lot better.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
Can't wait to
Everything a sequel should be.
Yeah, it's like what Xenoverse should have been at first, kind of thing, you know. But I'm glad it got a sequel. I'm hoping the customization is more in depth. I got the character creation, and it was the menus look so much better when you're creating your new character. It's like, oh, it doesn't feel like PlayStation All Stars anymore.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So,
Yay.
I liked it.
Oh, man, you're getting me in the mood to play.
Yeah,
Well,
it's really good.
I'm stoked.
So when you load up the beta, it might like when I started, it like took a long time to turn on.
That's fine.
So like if
Whatever.
it says,
It's a
"Oh, it
beta.
can't connect," you just keep connecting.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so-
it was the same thing with
yeah.
Xenoverse 1. So,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
cool, fun.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I was at your house, trying VR, and it was like the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 beta's out. I'm like,
I know.
whoa.
Well, I saw it was out like a week ago, but it was closed.
Yeah,
So I don't even know what's going on. I'm guessing maybe it's like how long is the open beta going on for?
no idea.
Okay, cool. I guess we'll
No
just play.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, it has like 2 parallel quests and like 4 story missions.
Nice.
Nice.
So it's really good.
Cool.
So let's move on to the big topic of the week,
Mm-hmm.
the only topic of the week,
Mm-hmm.
the week of VR
For PlayStation.
for PlayStation. Yeah,
I feel like this is going to be the most mass market for VR because Oculus Rift and Vive, you need a massively powerful PC just to get it to run the way it needs to run. And this is just like, hey, you got a PS4, this is going to work for you.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
so half the price is already paid by most people with the PS4, so or by everyone with PS4.
Right, so I want to ask Taylor a question first.
Yeah, go for it.
What is Taylor's hope for VR, PlayStation VR?
That's a good question. My hope.
Let me preemptively say that anything you bring up here, it's all true.
Okay.
It's all true. All of your hopes.
My hope. I don't know. I mean, we've talked about this on a lot, but I like in video games, I just like being in cool places. So I just want like those experiential type games. Like I honestly like one of my favorite things that I'm looking forward to is VR racing games, because the biggest problem I've heard in VR is figuring out movement, because your character is moving but you're not, so it makes you queasy. And a lot of games are solving that by teleporting, apparently. And
wait, your character is moving and you're not?
You're sitting on the couch, but you're looking through the VR and you think you're moving. Like the character in the VR game is moving, but your physical body is not moving.
And so people are using teleporting?
Yeah, so like they point somewhere and then your character in the game will teleport to that. Like apparently Arkham VR does that.
Really? That's interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's one of the few that I haven't tried yet.
And yes, because I felt that when I was in the experience, the ocean experience, is when the cage moved, my body would like react to it, and like I would lose my balance a sec for a little bit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, whoa, okay, and I would get the game back. But only certain games do that, I think. Because when I was playing Rigs, I didn't feel that at all. Rigs was like intense and really fast.
But when you ejected from that, did you feel it at all?
No.
Oh, okay, all right,
I
cool.
didn't notice it.
Because I tried Oculus Rift like 2.5 years ago. It was like the dev kit, like the really rough version, and there was a demo that it came with. It was like this Tuscan villa thing, and I remember moving around. I'm like, whoa! I got sick like almost immediately. But that was the dev kit. That wasn't the official. Maybe they've fixed
sure
how that makes you feel and look, and I'm sure a lot of games now have solved that. I've heard from a lot of people that queasiness is not really a problem in the launch games.
It's not a problem with me so far, but Rigs is when I talk about Rigs, that'll answer a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
and that'll address it.
And just to be clear, so Nick and Jake have both played it. Jake bought it and Nick came over and played it, but I have not played via PSVR yet. So I'm kind of going to be the guinea pig here. So anyway,
so your hope is,
I hope there's like, I'm looking forward to stuff like, hey, you can rent this thing, take a virtual trip through Venice or something, and you can just be on a boat and you get to look around and check stuff like that. I mean, obviously it'd be amazing to have like some open world game where you could just walk around and explore and stuff like that. But I honestly don't know. Like I love horror games, but I honestly don't know if I want a VR horror game because I think it'd scare me too much.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
No, we got to try it at least once.
Perhaps, but.
Well, for people who like horror games, I mean, yeah, definitely.
We know you won't be able to try it.
Yeah,
it's just impossible for you.
It is. Yes,
it's
for Jake. Yeah,
yes,
Jake does not like scary games. He likes scary movies.
No, wait, what?
Okay,
no,
I guess he doesn't like anything scary. So I thought you liked scary movies. I don't know.
No.
All right. So we know what to do for Halloween.
So
what? That's just
scare Jake.
Oh,
gotta scare Jake.
Okay.
What were your hopes, Nick? I mean, this was your first time playing PSVR, right?
Yeah.
Where were you expecting going in, and how did you feel coming out after you had played some
Didn't
games?
expect anything from it. I'd feel the same exact thing, you know.
All right.
That's what you get for asking Nick, Taylor.
What did you play?
I played Rigs and that Ocean Experience.
Okay.
It was cool. I like the Ocean Experience thing, but it's exactly what I expected most of VR is going to be. You sit down and watch something. That's what I think VR is going to be popular as, is you watch stuff. Games-wise, I don't think it's going to do so well. Only specific like genres will be well.
Sure.
Rigs is really fun, but it's kind of like, it's super hectic. I don't think there's going to be like a huge skill and like gap. You think that? You think skill?
Oh, totally. Yeah, you played one match.
I know. Well, you remember like one round I was doing awful, and then I'm like, okay, I get how to play this game, and then I got it.
Well, I also think you would do a lot better with the head turning instead.
No, I don't want to know. That's not gonna
or were you turning the camera with the right stick?
Like, so I could move around and look like this, right?
So
I could move my head around, and
that would aim.
And the camera would aim and go with that. But there's a setting where if when you turn your head to the side, your mech will automatically turn to that side.
Oh.
So I didn't like that because I don't have any free movement. Like if I turn this way, my mech's gonna turn that way, or my rig.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like that. I want to be able to look to the side and move forward without it turning. So that's why I turned it off.
My main argument, because I would prefer that, of course, being able to turn your mech and aim your head separately from one another obviously just gives you more options. So yes, I would have rather been able to use the right stick, but the problem is that you have to use the face buttons so much. X is jump, square, triangle, and circle are switching modes between damage, speed, and healing.
Oh wow!
And you're doing that a lot,
Huh.
and that's fine. But the problem is that if you're always turning your mech left and right, and you have to use the face buttons, you don't have that many thumbs. And so it's honestly, it's the same reason there are some games that use control schemes. Like Halo is kind of my perfect example for it. I gave up the use of two, like Halo Reach. They had armor abilities. I gave up the use of two of those armor abilities in order to play better. The jetpack and the energy shield thing. What those both allow you to do is, they're both movement-based ones. You pull up the shield and you're still moving around and looking around. You pull up the jetpack and you're able to fly around and still aim.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that I switched my armor ability to like X or something like that, or to A in Xbox.
I'm amazed that actually happened. Like it's switched now. You say X instead of A.
Yeah.
Before it used to be A.
Yeah, but I switched it to that. Which meant that I couldn't use my right stick while using the jetpack or the shield, which meant that they were pretty much useless. So I gave up the use of those entirely in order to use a different control scheme, because I much preferred being able to move. Like it made it so that jump and melee are the bumpers up there, so that you can keep turning and jumping and meleeing and doing everything you need to do while turning.
It sounds like you almost have to relearn how to play video games in a way, because we've been so conditioned. Like, okay, right stick controls the camera, but that also means your head. So it's like you're turning the stick and also turning. Like I feel like that's going to be really hard to get used to.
So what I did, I don't use the right stick at all now in rigs.
Wow.
I just move with the left stick. I use the face buttons with my right thumb, and then I'm aiming and turning with the right stick. And it just makes sense to me. To be honest, I was really worried that it would, the less options of turning manually and aiming separately. I was worried that would inhibit me, which is why initially I used the right stick as well, because I was like, well, of course that's the better option. Mm-hmm. But so far, turning with my head hasn't been an issue, because like it's, you end up you understand that by aiming to the right, your rig's gonna turn right, and that, I don't know, it's like you kind of start to be able to figure that out. So it hasn't hampered me at all.
Being a MechWarrior player, that hinders me too much.
See,
I can't do that.
I get where Nick's coming from, because the left stick is almost like the bottom torso and the right stick's the top torso, and then the VR helmet is like your head if you're the pilot. So I get where Nick's coming from.
Well,
but I also get where you're coming from too. If there's like too many buttons, it's like, how do I control this?
Literally, it would mean that I would have to choose. Okay, do I want to heal? Do I want to jump, or do I want to turn? And for a split second, you have to make a choice. And with my control scheme, you don't. You can do both.
What's really weird, so you're saying there's like a damage and a speed and a heal. You'd think that they would be like, hey, why don't you just choose a rigs class? Like one's a healing rig and one's a damage rig or something.
There are different rigs with different abilities, right? But every rig in the game, part of the gameplay is switching between. It's like it allows you to, the excess power from your rig, you can devote it to certain systems in your rig. So it's like you switch to speed, which lets you go a little bit faster. Obviously, damage lets you do more damage, and healing, which is when you're out of combat, you'll heal up your rig. And so part of the gameplay, part of the core gameplay, is switching between those. That's part of the game, is switching. And then once you get a few kills, it's like 5 kills or something, then you go into overdrive,
all
of them are on. And that's
oh,
all.
Wow.
It doesn't give you extra defenses. It doesn't give you anything like that. It just means that all of them are on, so you get to be a little badass, So it's nice. It's a really, really good mechanic, switching between
overdrive.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I was texting Jake yesterday, and I was like, "Are there enough people online to fill matches?" And he said no. So I'm guessing you all just played like AI matches or something like that.
Yeah, I was playing the story mode, and he was too. But yeah, I heard. But he also said that he actually got into some online matches.
Yeah,
as well.
Saturday on the weekends, there were some more, and I was able to play. I still haven't played a full match, because every match is 3-on-3. I still haven't played a full 3 players versus 3 players.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it could be that the online's busted though as well.
It seems to work pretty well when I'm in a match. The problem is just I think people aren't playing. The other thing is that I think there's no quick match option. You have to choose, is it 3v3 or 1v1? With
1v1,
well,
wow.
it's 1v1 with AI teammates
Oh.
because you pretty much bring your
Team.
your AI teammates from the single player mode into co-op, which is cool.
Yeah.
But so you just choose 3v3 or 1v1, and then you choose one of the 3 game modes to play, and then you matchmake for that. And so the problem is that that's 6 different things that people are searching for potentially. So even if there's a bunch of people on, they're divided into 6 different groups of matchmaking. So it's kind of frustrating. There's no quick match where it's like, it doesn't matter. Just put me in a match with people.
That reminds me of Rocket League, because you go to Rocket League's interface, there's like literally 10 things you can play. It says like 100,000 people online, and then I go to just 3v3 and it's like 4,000 people in playlists. I'm like, really?
Yeah, at least it shows you.
Exactly.
That's
so
cool.
that it shows you how many people are online, and that's nice, because then at least you're like, okay, it's dead. I'm not going to waste my time. Or you say, I really want to play it. I'm going to spend the time looking for a match.
Yeah.
And that's nice. In this, it doesn't give you any updates. It just says joining, and that's it. It just says joining.
Okay.
And then you wait there for half an hour or 30 seconds, whatever, and then you know it might just put you in a match randomly. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I guess it found something.
But as a concept and as a game, I think Riggs is one of the best.
Oh yeah, it's
Really?
it's definitely
Okay.
my favorite VR game.
But there are some setbacks, I think. The loading times are horrendous.
Well, I mean, it's a huge game. They're not horrendous. It's like
like the beginning, like loading up like this, the menu.
Well,
at the beginning. It's
yeah.
so
I'd say
long.
each load screen is probably 30 seconds.
Wow, that's a long time.
yeah. And so it's enough where it's. I mean, 30 seconds isn't impossible to wait. But
No,
but especially when you're just staring at the loading screen. 30 seconds is enough where it's just like
once even when you're playing like PS4, you've been playing PS4 for a year, and loading screens are like a second.
Thing of the past. Well, yeah, they're a thing of the past. I remember the last PS4 game that had massive loading times was Bloodborne. Like you die, and that's a game where you're going to die a lot. So like, is Riggs a game where you're going to have to see those menus? Like you're finishing a game, load, finish. Wow, that sucks.
But
they got to patch that. I think.
To be honest, it's not that awful. It's enough where the gameplay is fun enough where, at least for me, the loading screens are a little annoying, but it's not like you're in menus and you have to load, like, you have to load to press pause, or some, crappy things like that.
It's like loading from like the game to a menu.
No, I get that. Okay.
Yeah,
how long are matches?
They're pretty long.
They're like
15 minutes.
I think 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah,
like
but they
15 minutes
feel. I mean, because they're hectic, they're fun. Like I really haven't been bothered by the loading screens. Obviously, I would like it if they weren't there.
It's just the one thing I noticed. But the game itself is really good.
Yeah.
But I'm also pretty sure that if it's on a PlayStation Pro, those things are going to
it'll run better. Yeah.
run.
So I actually don't know what the gameplay of Riggs is. All I remember is there's robots and you shoot guys and you jump through a hoop or something.
3v3. It's just like a big sports arena. It's in the same vein as Rocket League in that it's a fictional, futuristic sport. And it's just filled with grandeur and like just this epic scale. You hear the announcers going, like, it's like the pilots are ready, the rigs are ready, audience, are you ready? As your rig is lifted up into the arena.
I bet that's a cool feeling
It
as
is.
you're getting raised up. Like,
so you're raised
awesome.
up, and then the crowd just goes crazy. And you're looking around. There's these huge structures. You see all these like fireworks going because it's each one of these events. These are huge sporting events, and it just makes you feel like you're just this superstar. It's so
and
cool.
when you take someone down, it's like it's a takedown.
Yeah, the announcers. I gotta say, by the way, I gotta say the announcers for that game are
great.
on point. They're incredible. They have so many different things. So they're like, I think 18 teams, or no, there are 10 teams. And the which are the Cobras, the Valkyries, the whatever, and each one is fully voiced by the announcers. Right?
Oh,
it's
cool.
like the Mustangs get a takedown, the Cobras are gonna need to work hard to bring back this match.
Do you get to pick what team you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like Old Men where it's like San Diego Chargers. It's on the 3rd yard.
Yeah, and
I remember it was so bad.
that's what I was saying. It's really weird how good. I'm not sure if they've pieced together these lines. If they say the Chargers get a takedown or whatever. I don't know if that's pieced together. The Chargers get a takedown.
It is. I could hear it.
You could hear it, really?
I could hear it, yeah.
I didn't
but
hear
it's
it at all.
miles better than it.
It's way better, yeah.
Because Nick sounds like he's exaggerating, but that's what it used to be. I
Yeah.
used to play a lot of Madden. It was really bad. It's like,
bad.
Yep.
and the Chargers get a first down.
Yep.
It was so dumb.
But yeah, this one you could hear it, but it's not. It's like you have to be like super sensitive to sound,
Well,
like I
and
am.
they do have a ton of they have a ton of different little voice lines. It's like they'll say like the Valkyries get 2 points in as many seconds. And it's just like little nice things.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
And an amazing takedown right at the moment.
So how do you score then? Is there like a ball or what do you do?
So there's different game modes. There's there's like a deathmatch mode, which I played, and that's just like you take people down. And there's the football one where you have to score touchdowns.
Yeah, end zone. Which it's just get the ball, bring it to the
hoop thing.
To the goal.
Uh-huh.
The hoop one, that's power slam, and it's that you have to get into overdrive mode, and while you're in overdrive mode, you have to jump through the hoop.
That's intense.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. What's awesome is that you see on the radar, there's a little yellow outline of people who are in overdrive mode, so you can see if there's like a red blip there, that's an enemy, and if it has a yellow circle around it and they're moving towards the goal, you're like, I gotta freaking kill that guy really quick. And then sure enough, you go up there and you see them just sprinting to this goal, and you're like trying to take them down, and it's just intense. It's like there's one of my favorites. Someone jumped up and they were a sentinel, so they can jump really high, and then they slam down, so they jumped up into the hoop, or going into the hoop, and so I was also a sentinel. I jumped up on their way down, and my way up I meleeed them, and it knocked them just enough out so they didn't get into the hoop. And it was like this. It's just there are some really intense moments.
Okay. Well, I'm big into sports, so I feel like that's gonna be a game I'm gonna like.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping this game gets big because it's actually really cool.
It is. And
wait, can we just stop?
Yeah.
I thought Nick said he was just like, I don't really care. And now he just said it was really cool.
Yeah.
So I think Nick was lying before. I just want to acknowledge that. Anyway, go on.
It's cool, but I don't care. I'm not going out to buy one right now.
I don't care. But it's cool. But I don't care.
Cool,
but it's cool.
I want to see it. I want to see it played. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna play it. One thing they need to fix, I think, is the HUD needs to be on your head. So when you turn your head, it should be staying there.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what's super cool, is because it makes you feel like you're in this mech. Because you're looking at, like, there's sometimes if you're aiming down enough and to the left some, the enemy rig that you're trying to shoot at, the radar, the mostly holographic but not totally holographic radar is in the way, and you're kind of like, crap. Like, there's a little bit where, even though it slightly hinders gameplay every so often, very rarely, that like the HUD kind of gets in the way of things.
I don't care about the HUD. I just want it to be like always there, so I could see the radar. Because when I'm looking, like, the game's hectic, so I'm trying to look. I also want to know when there's someone near me.
Yeah, that's why. So you have to sometimes look to the bottom left to the radar, which I like because it's part of the rig, not part of your helmet, and it's just refreshing. It's like
MechWarrior spoiled me because MechWarrior's part of the helmet.
Sure. Okay, so Riggs is awesome.
What else? One other thing I want to talk about the motion. So Riggs did something pretty interesting that so far I haven't seen on other ones. Well, I mean, I've seen in different games they have little things where they talk about motion. They give you like some suggestions, right? Riggs kind of takes it to a new level of protection against nausea. So they have a couple things on by default that you can turn off that, frankly, I think makes the experience tons better. What?
I just remember when I was playing, it was like, this thing's turned on by default because some people played better. I'm like, okay, we're going with some, but not all.
Yeah,
some people
get sick from this, so they're not gonna do it without your permission.
And
that makes sense.
It's just funny. It's only some people.
Some people do. What?
1%.
I don't think it's 1%, man.
I don't know.
I mean, it makes me feel like it gives me vertigo every time I get ejected. But it's awesome. I love it.
Like, remember when the
that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
So there's So there are a couple things on by default. The one of the first things that you'll notice, which I didn't realize was an option, so I was actually getting pretty disappointed with Riggs until I realized you could turn this off, was there's like it completely kills your peripherals when you're turning quickly. It almost gives you tunnel vision, and like the corners of the screen really shrink. And it's apparently that really helps with nausea, with like motion sickness, especially if you're not used to video games or VR specifically. So I was able to turn that off, which was nice. It just opened up the world, which to be honest, I'm glad they turned it on by default, because you get this like smaller, narrow experience.
Oh, weird.
But then when you turn it off, it's like you just like, oh, I can see so much.
So did you guys turn that off, both of you?
Yeah, I mean, I did. It's honestly, I didn't notice.
Okay.
For me, it was just getting in the way. It was like I can't see out of my peripherals that much.
Me too. I was like, I want to see. Like, I want to be aware of everything. Stop. Like, why is that black?
But the one thing that really
racist. Sorry.
The one thing that really was you can notice the difference is that when you are taken down, right, your rig explodes. Your pilot, you are ejected up into the sky, and a drone flies in and grabs your shoulders, and then you get to pick where you respawn, where you relaunch, right? And so then, there are specific places where you can relaunch, where your mech is like raised up from the ground, and you're placed in it, and then you're back in the game. Right?
Oh, cool.
But the thing is that when you're taken down, your screen goes black, and you see the minimap. You choose which point to respawn at, and then after a few seconds, your screen comes up again, and you're playing. But that's all because the motion of actually launching up and then being carried over gives people a lot of vertigo.
Oh, I bet.
And so I turned that off just to get the full experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's nuts how, like, even then they have a specific option where you'll see yourself going up, but then you won't see yourself going back down, because that's the part that always gets me too. It's like,
really,
I have a just crippling fear of heights, so I'm going to be really curious to see how I feel in that.
It's so cool. Like, it's a thrill.
I love it.
It's a thrill. Every time I'm taken down, I'm just like, okay. And it's like I select it, and I'm like, whoa. And I start going down, and it's like, what the heck? Like, and then I'm back in the rig, and I'm like, okay, all right, we're good.
It was funny because at the beginning, like the tutorial, it's like, okay, we're going to eject, and it shows the first option where it goes black.
Yeah.
And then it shows me the second option, and it explodes and goes up, and you'll be able to select and go down. And I'm like, well, I'm going to pick the second option. Why would I pick the first?
Well, it's because, frankly, like,
and some people can't experience.
Well,
that.
and even me, like, it doesn't make me, it doesn't nauseate me or anything, but it does give me this weird, like, I lose my balance sometimes. I'm just like, okay, all right. But it's actually something that, strangely enough, I know maybe it's just kind of the stupid thing that entertains me in my head, but it's like, you'd have to think if you were an actual pilot, that would be dizzying. It would be like really weird being pulled up and then lifted down and all this stuff, right? But it's something you eventually get used to. You figure out how to hold your body while that's happening so that you have the maximum stability when you're placed in the rig. And it's all this kind of role play stuff that you think about. And that's something that I play rigs standing up as much as I can.
Really?
Yeah, after a while my feet start to hurt, so I'll try and...
Do you play sitting down, Nick?
I played sitting down, but the PlayStation VR decided to start drifting to the left.
Yeah,
the center of
their
like
drift problems.
The center was like on right there at first.
Yeah.
And then it sharply goes to the left. So
is there a way to reset the center?
You have to turn it off,
Not
turn it on.
really, yeah. So we can talk about that in a sec.
Okay.
But
when I was standing up, I did not have that problem.
Right.
So it might be something set up in Jake's room, like it's too close.
It totally could be. It totally could be. But anyway, it's kind of I've realized I do this thing. So I'm standing playing rigs, and every time I move and then I'm placed down into the rig, I kind of bend my knees a bit and I kind of like lean back a little, and it's kind of this way. It kind of it helps my balance a bit.
Oh,
where it's like I'm just like, okay, like I'm being lowered down, and it's kind of this, I don't know, this stupid role play thing where I'm like, oh, it's like I'm a real rigs pilot. It's just
well, that's
fun.
what VR is all about. It's
is.
about kind of being as immersed in that whole thing as possible,
and you
right?
get immersed. It's so cool. Like it's just an awesome experience. It really is.
Okay. Well, we should probably move on from rigs.
Yeah.
If there's other, I don't know what other games you bought.
Because the second thing was Jake's impression. That was my second topic.
Oh well.
So
that's most of the podcast, I feel.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to talk about more about the other games you guys play. Like, what other games did you do? I mean, there's the demo disc and there's the PSVR Worlds.
I haven't even played the demo disc, mainly because I've purchased most of the games on the demo disc.
Oh, okay.
There are a few on there that I'll definitely try out soon, but like right now, I'm enjoying the full games that I purchased.
Okay, so you got rigs.
PlayStation VR Worlds is a lot of fun. It's a great collection of experiences. Well, there are some that are good. There's some that are good, some that aren't. The luge one, do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
that's awful.
Oh really?
It's awful.
Okay,
it's because you just control just by tilting your head left or right, and it's really difficult to control, and you end up bouncing off walls. You don't take any damage from anything. So it's not even like, if you hit a car, you just go through the car. If you hit a wall, you just bounce off the wall. And it's like so it's almost like it's not a very gratifying game experience because there's no consequences for messing up. Yeah. And also the controls aren't tight enough to warrant, like, it's not really a skill-based thing. I was thinking like, after a bit I'll practice and I'll get better. And you don't really. It's
Connect Joyride 2.0 with VR.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not very good. I was really excited about the luge part, and it just wasn't great.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it was frustrating. But Ocean Descent is super good. It's been, so far, that is the best first experience for VR that I've found. It's just fantastic. Most people that try it are into it. They love it, and it's good.
Okay.
I love how I'm just like Jake's dad. I was the entire time I just had my hands in my pocket. I'm like,
Yeah, and you just
okay.
didn't get
okay.
into it.
Hey,
You
look,
didn't
it's
get
a bu- it's a
immersed.
bucket.
I think you almost have to let yourself
You do.
believe that it's real.
You have to let yourself have fun with this. And I
Mhm.
think honestly it's something that when you're reserved, when you keep it in the front of your head, this is just a video game, you're not going to have as much fun with it.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, there's a giant whale.
Yeah,
the whale's not going to really kill me, or
analyzing
I don't know.
When you're like, it's like, this is an interesting experience, and you're kind of just like, you're looking at the mechanics of it, and you're just kind of like, you're thinking about other stuff. It's like, no, but if you kind of role play it in your head, you get into it.
I was pressing stuff. I was like, beep boop boop. Yeah, there's a bucket. I'm trying to get about bucket.
Yeah, and that's good, and you got a bit of an experience. You got more than my dad when he tried, because my dad literally didn't look around. He just stared straight ahead. He occasionally,
I could totally see him doing that, and then taking it off. It's like, okay.
yeah,
And walks off.
and he's like, oh, that was cool, and then leaves. And it's
But
like,
your mom was a little bit more into it?
oh my god, my poor mom. She was my mom like freaked out. She
Really?
was loving it. She was so immersed in this thing. She was like. She was freaking out. Like she.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, she was
it
she was
worked.
freaked out, and she ended up. I thought she was going to end up quitting, so I ended up putting my hands on her shoulders, just kind of like it's just a game.
Or was she like, good? Did she jump when you did that?
Yeah. Well, no, not when I did that. No, but she was jumping at the game a lot.
Okay.
She ended up like she said afterwards, she's like, "Thank you so much for just putting your hands on my shoulder, because it was just enough where it's like it was a little too." Real. It was a little too intense. I needed to be reminded that it was just a game, and like that it's just this little. It was like, and it was just so cute, But
Yeah. Okay, so one
she
thing
was so into it.
it
was good.
In the intense part, I did feel something a little bit.
Good.
I felt it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's giving me some feeling.
That's
cool.
good.
Giving you the jigglies?
It's giving me the jigglies.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I'm glad you said that. To be honest, because we were watching you do that experience, and it just looked like you were bored.
Yeah, because I was tapping my foot.
Yeah, you were just like, all right, and it's like, well, crap. Okay,
No,
glad you came over to try this.
No, when I stand in like a thing, I always move. So that's that foot tap is what I do when I'm just standing.
Cool. Well, good. Yeah, I'm glad you got into it. But moving on,
Yeah.
VR Worlds. The London Heist is another really really good one. As a game, it's crappy. It takes like 20 bullets to kill someone, and the aiming is awful. But besides the shooting part, of which I think there are maybe like 6 sections to the game, and 2 of which are shooting.
Okay.
So most of the game is more of an experience, and the experience part is great. The eye contact they make, the amount of personal space they kind of invade almost. Like at one point, this really scary guy moves to reach for the back of your head, and you feel like his hand is just right there, and you're like, hey! And you're like, you flinch, like it's just like you end up getting a little bit freaked out by this guy, and it's intimidating, and it's cool because there are some sections where your character is sitting down, and it's just neat because even though you're standing, because this is another standing experience, you're standing, but because all they just make it so that your eye level is now at sitting height, and so he's walking around, and you have to look up to look him in the eye, and it just feels like you're sitting. It's just awesome. Like
cool.
It's really freaking cool. Yeah. So that's a really great experience as well. What else have we done? I did some Res Infinite this morning, and that's just super relaxing. You get into the music. Res in Thumper, by the way, both of those.
I heard that was a cool one. Yeah.
Those are awesome rhythm games. I've never been into rhythm games before. I've tried them, and I kind of like them. Like I used to play some DDR. I've played some rhythm games on my phone, which have been pretty cool. I used to play some on older consoles. Like there are good rhythm games, but I've never gotten into them because either the buttons are a little bit off, and so like I'm pressing it to the beat and it's not quite counting every time.
Yeah.
The restrictions for things are a little too tight, so it's like it's a little finicky. You have to kind of play the game, not enjoy the music.
I'm looking at my metal DDR pad right now.
Yeah.
There it is.
But both of those games, you just get to enjoy things. You get to really immerse yourself, and Thumper is this just creepy, kind of dreadful, type, like this, in that it kind of incites a bit of dread. It's just this like very doom feeling, just like, this creepy thing.
Five Nights at Freddy's dread.
No. It's just an ominous feeling. The entire game is just ominous. And so you're just going through it, and it's just this cool, industrial, dark kind of rhythm.
Cool.
And you just get to enjoy it, and it's really difficult gameplay, but very rewarding. It's fair. And so you just getting through it, and it's good gameplay and good rhythm. It's really hard to knock it for anything.
Game
honestly.
we all want to know what you like about it.
Haven't played it yet.
The kitchen demo?
100-foot robot golf?
No.
Oh.
Job Simulator.
Oh, Job Simulator I have played.
Oh, yeah?
It is phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I've heard that's one of the better launch games.
It's incredible. It's totally incredible. It's just the amount of immersion and fun crap you can do is just
Fun.
Great. It's just great. It's so much fun.
You
What?
Your girlfriend nodded.
I know.
in.
Well, did you want to talk about your experience with it? You sure? All right. So, I did Office Simulator or Office Worker and Convenience Store Worker, and like they're just so funny. One of my favorite things ended up being like these little robots will come up and they simulate customers or coworkers or whatever. And if they have glasses, you can just reach out and take their glasses off and put them on in front.
Nice.
So they just kind of hang in front of your vision,
That's cool.
You can take their hats and put them on you, and you can throw crap at them.
Fill up some coffee and throw it at him.
Yeah, it's
That seems like just a mess around type of game. Like,
It
there's
is.
really no point. You just kind of screw around and have fun.
like Surgeon Simulator, for instance.
Yeah.
How it's kind of you just kind of have fun with it, right? Except Surgeon Simulator was frustrating because the
the
controls are so
are
bad.
so awful.
I think they're purposefully bad, though.
They are, but at the same time, it's so awful that it just makes it kind of frustrating because
Yeah.
you can't do anything you want to do. In Job Simulator, what I love about it is that you can mess around, and things are clunky and weird. But if you want to do something, the game allows you to do it.
Mhm.
If you want to pick something up and toss it, you can just pick it up and toss it. You never have to wrestle with the controls ever in Job Simulator.
Nice.
It's just great. It's super great.
But no 100-foot robot
But
golf.
No, I haven't played that yet. I haven't
Okay.
played it yet. There's so many things I've been trying to. Riggs has been taking up a lot of time too. I've been trying to
Has
play
it
other
now?
things. Yeah. I've been trying to play other things as well because that's just what I offer.
I mean, yeah, it's a really well-made game. So.
It's super, super fun.
But there's one thing you need to play: Outlast 2 and Resident Evil 7.
No, why? This joke is just the same joke. It's just Jake play horror games,
needs
and
to
I
happen.
say no, and then it doesn't happen.
It needs to happen.
Ugh.
There are actually two games. Like, if I were to buy PSVR like today, there are two games that I would want to play.
Are you thinking about doing that? You should do it.
I don't have the money to do it, or else I would.
It's that or not, or going the PSX.
Ah,
Guess
gotcha.
to choose.
It's that or paying rent. I kind of want to. I want to live.
Yeah, get the PSVR.
No. Let's be out on the street corner. Yeah, this is great. I'm driving.
Just sell Matt, and you could win.
But the two games that I don't know if it's out at launch. It could not be out at launch. But Drive Club VR was that a launch
It
game?
is not.
Okay. Because any driving game that seems like the most like the perfect. Cause I'm never gonna be able to drive a race car. That'd be fun to drive like a race car and go fast and just
Right.
skid around corners and stuff. But the other one I've heard from many people is the best launch game is Batman Arkham VR.
Really, you've been hearing that's the best.
That's from a couple podcasts I've heard.
That's from the Batman fans.
That's
you
one
know.
of the couple that I haven't played yet.
Okay.
I've been really trying to play everything I can, and I've definitely put time into a lot of different games. But
I could tell you what it
one
is.
of the
It just goes, "I'm Batman," and then
That's it?
beats
And that's
Batman.
it?
and
Oh,
that's
great.
it.
Okay.
We haven't done that before, right?
Oh, you know what I also heard is really fun is Super Hypercube.
Really? See,
Yeah.
that one just didn't interest me. I didn't pick that one up either.
Because I heard it's like one of those Japanese game shows where you have to fit through the little holes or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen
Really?
it? It's like Human Tetris, basically. That's what I heard that game was.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
wait, that's interesting. I thought it was like a puzzle game.
Jake,
Well, it is, but you're the puzzle piece.
Oh.
Jake, we need to play this now.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, that might be fun.
I could be mixing it up with another game, but I think that's what that is.
The only thing I'd be worried about is space. So there's two things I do want to talk about, and it's the two issues that I'm having.
Let's go.
Oh.
Let's go with one question first.
Okay.
Has it met your expectations?
It has surpassed them by far, and I had extremely high expectations.
That's kind of
Nice.
That's kind of impressive.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's great. I'm super happy. It was actually funny. I was standing in line to pick it up at 9 last Wednesday, and there were people that were talking about it, and they were kind of like, "Well, guys, we've put a lot of money into this thing. Is this going to be the next big thing in gaming, or is this going to be the Power Glove?" And I was kind of worried. I was like, "It could be the Power Glove. It could totally be. It's just like a super gimmicky, crappy thing, and it's just like not going to work very well." And I'm extremely happy to say that it is not. It is. I mean, this is the next big thing since 3D graphics.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a new way to play games.
Yeah.
Basically. No, I think it is. I think it's here to stay. I think Sony has said like this is like the PS, like our launch version. This is like what PS1 was for us. Like we're dedicated to this. Like this isn't just like a thing that we're gonna screw around with. Like we are dedicated to like making this work and be great and whatever.
Oh, I forgot one more thing before complaints. Is I ended up watching. There was a.
Wait, that's another topic.
Oh,
Gosh.
okay.
What?
Gosh.
What?
You're going out of order,
What's another
man.
topic?
What do you want to have improved?
Okay. Well, see, look, I didn't know this was all that structured.
So
what do I want
structured.
to have improved? Drifting. That's
What's drifting?
Drifting. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about soon. But
Uh-huh.
can I talk about complaints now yet?
Yeah, that's the improvement, right?
Okay, gotcha. So there are two main things. One of which I don't know how it could be fixed. The second could totally be fixed. So the first, actually, drifting will be second. The first one is just space. They recommend 64 square foot play space, so 8 by 8. I've cleared out pretty much a 3 by 4, maybe 3 by 4 play space, and I put the camera diagonally in it, so you get you get a lot of space. Now I haven't actually experienced any movement problems, like whether it's I've never, like playing Job Simulator, I'd say that took up the most space.
Okay, but it still
'cause
wasn't terrible.
I was reaching down and all this stuff, and it was incredibly rare that anything happened. That there were any problems with that. The only two potential problems are bumping into things or leaving the camera space. I've not bumped into anything yet, which is awesome. And I start off and I'm like, okay, I know where I am.
Yeah.
But occasionally I'll remove the headset and I'm facing a totally different direction. I'm like a few feet away. It's I kind of forget where I am.
Sure.
But the nice thing about it is that the games are designed to kind of keep you centered. It's like if you're standing off to the side, well, in your cubicle or whatever, you're off to the side, and there's no reason to continue trying to move through the wall. There's nothing to reach over there, so there's no reason to reach over there. So like the games are done well. They're designed in which it makes you, even though you don't actually know where you are in real life, you don't need to go farther, so it kind of wrangles you towards the center again, which is really, really nice. They do a good job at that. So bumping into things, not an issue so far, even in a 3x4 play space. So I'm excited about that. The problem though is occasionally going off screen, or going off the camera. Occasionally, especially earlier on, before I kind of figured out the camera better, I had some issues where I was, I would go out of the play space, and it would stop tracking me. There are, of course, issues where if you're trying to move your hands about with the motion controllers and it's behind your body, it's so your body's in between you and the camama.
Oh,
it
yeah.
has no idea where your hands are, so you can't really do too much hands-wise if it's directly behind you. Also, the headset doesn't track as well from behind or the sides. It tracks best from the front. It still tracks okay from behind and the sides. There are lights there that it can track, but it's definitely not as good as the 5 that are on the front that it can see. And those, so that works best. So you should generally be facing the camera. But if you turn around entirely 180 degrees, it'll still do okay, but it'll be a little twitchy. It won't be as smooth of an experience. So that's a little frustrating, and they could definitely improve that.
You're gonna make it a helmet this time, whole helmet.
Well, that's intimidating, but it would
with the headphones built
it would
in.
probably solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I wasn't kidding. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and it's intimidating, because it's just like it's a whole helmet. That's kind of freaky, but that would definitely solve a lot. So anyway, that's the big thing. And then again, just somehow giving the camera a wider lens so that you you can more easily use a smaller play space and
think-
reach farther.
Isn't there a wide mode?
There was for the Kinect, the Kinect
remember-
2.0. There was like a lens where it would give it like fisheye, and that could work, but it just messes things up because
I
it's not
remember that.
first party. And
That was for the PS3 one. There was
gotcha.
a smaller room mode.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just that's something for the future. I'm not knocking points for that now because frankly, it's still first gen. There's still stuff that I'm expecting there are things to be improved. Second thing is then drifting. Drifting is awful. It doesn't. It happens pretty often, but it doesn't happen to the point where it impedes gameplay.
Except for me.
Except for Nick. Nick had it really bad. So usually, what'll happen is that after a bit of playing, maybe half an hour, you'll notice that you are having to look a little bit to the left, and that when you're looking a little bit left, that in the game is looking straight ahead. Now you can always recalibrate by holding options, right? But that doesn't recalibrate what direction the default is looking. It calibrates where you are position wise. So what it'll do is, if you're too far forward and you recalibrate, it'll put you in the center of your seat. It'll put you like where your character is supposed to be, but it won't have you look straight ahead. So you can't recalibrate direction. You can recalibrate position,
which is weird. I thought that's what they were going to do.
Yeah, same. And recalibrating direction is a lot more. No, it's equally important because if you were drifting away from your character's body, that would also really suck.
Yeah.
So that's really awful. And that worst case for me is it's put me off by like 45 degrees. And that was after like an hour of play. So that's after a while. Nick, unfortunately, after like 15 minutes, he was about a 90-degree angle. Like he had to look fully left to be looking forward in the game. That was the worst I've seen it.
Then it kept moving. Like I literally had to turn around and play to be center.
Yeah.
And then it kept going. And I'm like, what's going on?
So I'm not sure exactly what happens. For me, it tends to happen much more when I'm seated than when I'm standing.
Seated.
That's weird.
And also, when you're seated, it's harder to pivot. When you're standing, you just turn a little bit. Like you could be playing completely turned around, and it wouldn't be that much of an issue, except again for the reverse tracking, that's not as smooth. That's the only issue that you'll encounter. You won't be uncomfortable. So it's kind of like standing fixes a lot of problems. But anyway, so the drifting sucks. I have recently found a way to fix it, which is nice. It's not the best fix, but I think it's the best fix available, but I don't think it's not a great fix. Literally just press the power button on the PSVR, turn the whole headset off,
and turn it back on.
The game is still running, and then turn it back on while you're facing neutral forward, and that will reset direction and position.
How long does that take?
Not that long.
Probably
a couple seconds.
Probably 15 seconds.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all. So, but it's
especially if it's really off center and it's really distracting. Like
exactly
just to turn it on and off. That's
my previous fix was I have to close the application and relaunch it, which could take about a minute or two.
Sure.
So this is definitely much better, but it's still that's the biggest problem I found with it.
When we don't know if it's the PlayStation VR, it might be just your setup, so we don't know.
Right, exactly.
There's so many factors, right? Lighting, like
lighting I have found is an issue.
Turn off your lights.
Yeah. So that's what I've been having to do, and that's been making tracking better, but it still doesn't fix drift.
Okay. My question is, of the 3 VR headsets, supposedly PlayStation VR is the lowest resolution. Is that distracting in any way, or
sometimes? Yeah,
okay.
That's. I was going to say
you could tell it's really low. It's lower resolution.
But is it like not bad to the point where it's like, I can't even be immersed right now, or you just get used to it at some point?
If you had VR with Nintendo 64 graphics, you would get immersed.
Sure.
No, seriously.
No, you're
graphics
right.
Don't affect immersion, to be honest. I really don't think that they do.
Okay.
The problem is that if lettering is too small, it starts almost looking like it's shimmering because the graphics, the pixels. Some things like there was a movie I watched with. It was like a little short. It was about half an hour called Alamet. It was free. It's
Is that
awesome.
the one with the little hedgehog guy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I saw that one. I didn't know if it was the same thing.
No, this is about a little. It's based on this story called The Little Match Girl, and it's just really this cute little animation, and you end up feeling like you're this huge, imposing being looking down in this tiny town. You can you can bend over and look into different hallways, and it's really, really incredible how well that was a great VR experience. Stylistically, a lot of the characters had very thin limbs, and so like legs were very, very thin. So if you were just too far away, but reasonably far away, you're not like way, way far away, but just a little bit too far, you couldn't see their legs, for instance, because it just couldn't render that few pixels. So you'd have to lean in a bit and you'd see their legs just kind of form.
Sure.
So like, there were some issues there. Definitely graphics could be improved substantially. And field of view, I've heard field of view is the smallest with the PSVR as well.
Oh, okay.
But I really think that you still get a lot. You don't see extreme peripherals. Like, you can't see, in real life, you can see almost 180 degrees in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, in your far, far peripherals, you can see some sort of movement, right? In this, I'd say you get 45, so it's
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's really not, it doesn't
It's
impede
better than
anything.
the phone in front of your head.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, if I am used to Rift or if I'm used to the Vive and then I switch to VR, maybe it'll be more noticeable, but I haven't tried those.
Isn't the Vive like 1080p? Like
Probably. Well, that's why it's also like twice the price of
Yeah.
PlayStation VR.
Yeah. So it's there's room for improvement.
Okay.
There's an easy sight of like where this will be going as they improve technology.
I wonder if it's going to improve with the PlayStation Pro. Like the resolution gets higher.
I don't know about. Well, I feel like they said something about that in that little conference, but I can't remember.
I don't think resolution is going to get higher. I mean, maybe
maybe
different colors and all that, because that's its own monitor, that's its own processor. There's no, because you have to set up a whole separate processor for the PSVR. So setup is kind of.
I heard it's a little bit of a pain. There's lots of cords and stuff,
There's
right?
lots of cords, but what? It takes 20 minutes to set up, and then you're good to play it. So it's
Forever.
to be honest, setup time is kind of like, it doesn't really matter that much.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Not a big deal.
Even if it took an hour to set up, it's like, okay, well then that hour was annoying, and now it's not having to happen anymore, so it doesn't matter.
I think the big sell is if Resident Evil 7 is really good in VR, I think that would be the selling point for me.
I see. I don't think I want to do a horror game though.
No.
I think I'd be too freaked. I get like, honestly, like I enjoy those experiences, but then it like messes with me later. Like I have nightmares. Like I remember I was playing Alien Isolation recently, and then I just had alien nightmares. I'm like, nope, can't do it.
So, are there any more specific questions?
No,
from
that's
you,
actually
Nick?
the end, and we're
How about
running
you,
out an hour.
Taylor?
So
Any questions?
So I think the general, like, a lot of YouTubers and game website people got this early and they did their initial reviews, and I think the one concern was, okay, at launch there's tons of games. None of them are like substantial. They're usually like kind of smaller experiences. So the fear is, well, let's just peter out and then there won't be games for a while. I haven't really paid attention because in my head I knew I wasn't going to buy it at launch. But are there games further out? Like I said, Drive Club VR I think is on the horizon. Resident Evil 7.
yes, there's one huge game that we're missing: the Final Fantasy 15 VR mode where we can just drive in a car.
Oh, and look at Cindy's boobs. Yeah, of course.
Apparently that's the entire thing. Like you do that one battle and then when
you
you're driving,
shoot Behemoth and then Well, Tomb Raider, apparently there's some VR thing in Tomb Raider where you just walk around the mansion or something.
I'm not positive what that is, but
I've heard. Have you played Gone Home?
Yeah.
I heard it's basically Gone Home. Like you're just walking around the mansion and like Lara Croft is
talking about her past.
Well, supposedly she doesn't in the will. It's not plainly laid out that she is the rightful heir to the manor, and so this person's like, hey, if you want to get this manor, you're gonna have to prove it. So you have to walk around the house and find these clues and piece together things that your dad said. So a lot in the vein of Gone Home, and it's short, but I think it'd be a cool first person experience, just walking around and exploring the manor and stuff like that.
It better be the same manor from the older ones. So you got to have that butler that you can
lock in the fridge. Do you know what we're talking about?
No.
So in Tomb Raider, I think it was 2, there is like a free mode where you get to go to Lara Croft's mansion. It's mainly a tutorial level where it shows you it shows you how to jump and swing. But you have this butler, it literally just follows you everywhere, and it's kind of creepy.
He Tom Nooks you?
Basically. He's super creepy.
He's super slow, and he just walks slowly towards you.
With a tray?
Yeah, with a little tray, yeah.
And so what everyone used to do is they go into like the kitchen,
it's like a walk-in freezer.
And it's a walk-in
huge,
freezer.
Yeah.
And you can open the door and go into like a meat freezer.
Yep.
And he would follow you. And then you go out and shut the door, and he's stuck in there.
We just thought that was the funniest thing in the world. It was so good.
Remember the secret where you had to go through the maze, press a button, then run through the back out of the maze into the mansion, and there's like a treasure room
Oh, I don't think I ever got that.
Yeah, there's a room in there, and if you go in, it's like a special treasure room.
Huh.
But it's hard to do because you have to go in the maze and then go out of the maze. And I remember with Brian, we had like a grid paper, and we showed the path to go.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Nice.
so-
Grid paper. Every gamer's
So,
passed.
we knew what to do.
I
Good
had
times.
one for the Lost Forest, or in Zelda.
Nice.
Grid paper.
Drew out. Yeah, grid paper was the best.
I want to buy some right now.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
go
just
get
go to
some
the
grid
store
paper,
and
guys.
just make
Screw-
maps.
Screw the
really good.
VR.
Let's make some maps and play and make an RPG.
Sounds good.
So-
But I really want to try it for sure. I'm not against it, nor am I like down on it. I'm not like a cynic. Like, I prove me right. I'm not
Right.
like that. I legitimately want to. I think for me, it's just a cost thing. Like there are games I want to buy that are coming out, like Final Fantasy's coming out and stuff like that. Last Guardian. So
There's a lot of stuff I want to buy now. I just realized a lot of things are coming out. Dragon Ball. Dang, I keep hiccuping. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is the end of October. Shadow Warrior 2 came out for the PC. And then November is Final Fantasy.
yeah. So
Yeah.
And then also in November is the PlayStation 4 Pro. So
oh, are you getting the Pro?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm telling you, man.
gonna get it.
Just get rigs.
No, I don't need
Play
it.
rigs.
Gonna get the Pro.
How,
I have a
Riggs is 40 or 50.
I don't know.
I
I lost. I just couldn't pay attention.
You're like,
bought-
I just have this giant bill. I don't even remember.
No, that's pretty much it. I'm just like, credit card, you're going to take a hit here, and I'm just going to have to work to pay you off, but I'm just going to be spending you a lot right
Yeah.
now.
All right.
I have a 4K TV. I have an excuse. Okay,
You have a...
there you go.
Nick.
Yeah,
End of discussion.
PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
So much better.
we'll get PlayStation VR when there's more games out for it. When it's proved itself. When we go to PSX and we see all the new games that are coming out, Armored Core VR.
Yeah.
Nick would be down for Armored Core.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Just get it.
Dude, you know what I'm actually really excited about? Apparently Ace Combat 7 is a VR game.
It is. And it was supposed to be
Wait.
a launch title, but
Well,
it didn't come out or something?
No,
I don't know.
I think it got delayed. But I wanted to try Eve Valkyrie. I just want to try it.
Yeah.
Just want to try it.
Yeah. I don't like it very much.
Okay. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, this is the one. I'm the same way. It doesn't look interesting. to me.
No, I bought it. I was super into it. I was like really, really down to play. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
I love the Eve universe, and no, it's just not very good.
Huh,
I don't
that's too
think.
bad.
I think it's there are way better experiences.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I think it would be awesome if there was a single player campaign. That might be a little more fun. But the issue is that everyone just ends up.
Oh, is it like a multiplayer dogfighting type
yeah.
of thing? Oh.
And the problem is that I'm down for that, but there's everyone just ends up breaking so that they can do the hardest turns possible, and then they're just turning, trying to.
This is a giant
there's-
turn
it's little-
fest.
yeah, everyone's just kind of turning in these little tiny circles, trying to shoot the other.
So
person.
Star Fox 64, basically. You're just constantly flipping and turning and
Oh, I destroyed everyone at that game.
yeah, well, but yeah, so because everyone's just breaking the entire time, trying
Yeah.
to get the tightest turn so that they can shoot the other person, and that's all.
What I would
Valkyrie
do
is.
I would find the bomb, go away, find the bomb, and then turn around, and then they'll be shooting me with the lasers, and I'll lock on with the bomb, and bam, 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 and then just take away like 3/4 of their health, and you're like, what now? I'm a 6-year-old boy kicking your 30-year-old ass.
Nice.
I did that before.
Okay,
I said that.
Yes.
that's good. I'm glad.
Well,
It was good times.
they're real quick. We're talking about PSVR games on the horizon. Apparently, there's this Chinese company. I don't know what they're called, but Easy Allies did like a little preview on their channel, and it was like this game. It was called it was some monkey game. Like you're protecting like your horde of bananas, and you're shooting monkeys that are like trying to like get your bananas or whatever. And then it was really
yeah.
I don't.
Is it Donkey Kong?
Banana something. Ace Banana.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Ace Banana. That's a
Yeah,
great name.
Gotta get it.
But there's some cool stuff on the horizon. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm stoked. I know we need to finish up the podcast.
I know. But there's one breaking news that just happened. That's what I was looking at my phone.
Yeah,
Okay, what's up?
I had been saving this.
What's
I
up,
think
what's up?
they are teasing
Red-
Red Dead Redemption
Yep,
2.
I saw that this morning. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'm
so
excited.
we'll see what
I
that's all about.
literally couldn't care less.
Really?
I didn't play the first one. I don't really like westerns.
The
and
first
Jake's like, all right, well, we can't be friends.
You know what, Taylor? You just ruined our chances of hanging out with Easy Allies because you said that. Because Brandon Jones now hates you.
Okay, I'm sorry, Brandon.
No, I liked the first one. It was good. I'm excited for the next one, but I
played the first one.
waiting for the announcement.
You can't crash horses into each other, okay? This isn't Grand Theft Auto 6.
I don't enjoy.
Or maybe you can. I don't know.
I don't enjoy Grand Theft Auto, but I enjoyed Red Dead Redemption.
That's so weird. Huh.
Because I don't like the stupid city setting.
Oh, I love it.
I
Just
hate that.
driving off ramps and doing dumb crap. I love Grand Theft Auto. Like, I never finished the story, but I love just screwing around.
Well, so
You can't fly a horse, Nick, okay? You
Or
can't.
can you?
Or can you?
Just do some mods and have a flying horse.
There you go.
but yeah, I'm excited. I just waiting for the announcement. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. It's cool.
I would say in summation for the PSVR, I recommend it to everyone. Everyone will like it. It's
recommended.
great. Completely recommended
Cool.
as highly as I possibly can.
Recommend it.
Yep.
2 thumbs up from the Jake.
1 thumbs up for the Nick.
And
No
2
thumbs
from Taylor.
Or he hasn't played
Sure.
it yet, so he can't.
I'd like to play it. I'm excited to play it.
Yeah.
So we're all going to Jake's after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go play, have some fun, get a pizza, do stuff, be social.
Mhm. Jake's like, no. He's just looking at us like, I don't think so.
But yeah, so that'll be it for this week's LSG cast. Stop dropping stuff, Sierra.
Jeez.
Gosh.
Yeah, if you guys have played PSVR, definitely let us know your impressions, your favorite games, or if you haven't, like what are you holding back
Yeah,
for? What are
please.
you excited about?
And if you're enjoying Rigs, let me know so we can play together so I can actually have someone to play with.
Or destroy. No,
or destroy.
Destroy everyone. It must be the best. But yeah, thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Just tell us what you think about VR or what your hopes for VR are. If you're listening to us on iTunes, give us a review. Helps us out great. And you can follow us on Facebook at Last Honest Gamers and Twitter at LHG Channel. And that'll be it.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next week.
Later.